So today, y'all, we're gonna be digging deeper into the Larry Bird rabbit hole. Now, a lot of y'all requested for me to watch this video right here called Making the Case Larry Bird by the man Clayton Crowley. Now, I'm not gonna lie, bruh. I'm pretty sure this video is gonna talk about and make the argument that Larry Bird is one of the greatest players to play the game or might be the best player in the world over Michael Jordan. I personally never had Larry Bird over Michael Jordan, but I don't know a lot about his history, so we're gonna be learning that today, and shoot, we're gonna find out if Larry Bird is truly the GOAT.
Basketball is special. The size of the court and the lack of pads or helmets give fans the most intimate experience of a team sport that exists. And because of the different styles that basketball allows for, players develop their own distinct identities and signature styles through their creativity, flair, and athleticism. And although no player succeeds alone, the scoring volume and two-way nature of the sport give individual stars a nearly unprecedented amount of control over the flow and outcome of a game. For this reason, players are constantly compared to their peers and to the legends of the past in order to answer the most hotly contested question in the sport: who's the greatest to ever do it? For many, the
I got
question is
Jordan.
redundant. They believe in only one right answer, their answer. Others might have their own personal stance, but acknowledge one or two alternatives. But I believe that there's much more nuance to the question of greatness and more answers to it than you might think. By my count, there are 8 players in NBA history that have a substantial claim as the GOAT. It's a subjective thing though. I can't give you a definitive answer. All I can do is make the argument.
Right.
So today, I'll be making the case for Larry Bird as the greatest basketball player of all time.
All right, let's learn about my boy Larry. Was my boy Larry Legend really like that? Shoot. We'll see what this vid talking about.
When it comes to basketball, Larry Bird is the smartest, clutchest player to ever play the game.
I know he
If
clutch.
you don't think that Larry Bird is the greatest basketball player of all time, you probably hate that I just said that. Those are the kind of
not
talking
really.
head sport cliches that surely impact the game but are impossible to empirically measure. Normally, I'd agree with you, but I think that when you talk about Larry Bird, you see those intangibles become real, palpable results. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't believe it.
Right.
When Larry Bird was drafted by the Boston Celtics in 1978, the NBA needed saving. Attendance was in the toilet, the league had few marketable stars, cocaine addiction had several players in its grasp, and most damning of all, playoff games were being tape delayed. Playoff games at the highest level of basketball were being put in the back seat for black and white movies and network reruns.
Whoa. Now, I knew this during that time the NBA was like just not in a good spot, but I didn't know they were getting takeover over movies. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. I ain't gonna front. People would rap. The movies were more entertaining than the actual games? Like what? Nah, bro. I ain't gonna front. That's OD. I even heard back then, low key, I was watching this video from the Man Says Country, and what they were saying was college basketball was more watched than the NBA at that current point in time. Literally, bro. College ball was literally the shit back then. The NBA, nobody was watching the league like that, or it wasn't popping like college ball.
But rather than join the Celtics after being taken 3rd overall, Larry Bird decided to return for his final year at Indiana State, a decision that would prove to be one of the most important in the history of the sport. Bird's final year saw the Sycamores tear through college basketball, going 33-0 before the national championship game.
Damn.
Bird, already claimed by the NBA's most historic and prestigious franchise, had established himself as the generational talent who would inherit the mantle of pro basketball. Indiana State's opponent in the national championship was Michigan State, captained by the immortal Irvin Magic Johnson. The Sycamores lost the championship to the more talented Spartans in the highest rated game in the history of basketball at any level still to this day.
That's crazy, yo. They really so there was really a battling head to head, bro. Since college, or was it before college? I don't know, but that's low key crazy. And then they meet in the league and they battle each other head to. I ain't gonna lie, I know, man. Nah, that was a battle. I know that was a battle of the ages, bro. From college all the way to the NBA till they both retired, bro. It was a battle, bro. They were like the bestest of friends off the court, but on the court, they was just battling. You know what I'm saying? Who was better than the other? They was just going crazy. I know it was fun to watch back then. It had to have been.
The stage had been set. The next decade of basketball would be defined by the rivalry between the white hick from French Lick and his Boston Celtics and the black Magic and his Showtime Lakers.
Shoot.
The rivalry between
Larry
Bird and
Potter
Johnson is entwined into the fabric of the NBA and is worthy of 100 documentaries. In this video, though, we're going to be looking at Bird's claim of supremacy. Here's Bird's basketball resume. His 3 championships come with perhaps the highest collective degree of difficulty of any player's championships. His 3 MVPs came consecutively, making him only the 3rd player to accomplish the feat, along with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
His 2 finals MVPs are misleading. He was absolutely the best player on the '81 Celtics, but he was only a sophomore, and his 15 points per game in the finals gave the media an excuse to exact a little vengeance on a legendarily difficult interview. His All-Star and first-team selections also come with the caveat that Bird only played for 13 seasons and missed all but 6 games of the '89 season following surgeries on both feet.
Damn, 13 seasons? I ain't gonna lie, for 13 seasons, he did low-key accomplish a lot. 3 chips for 3. This is a lot for 13 seasons. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, he was hooping. I ain't gonna lie. He was definitely doing his thing though, for sure on the court. Shit.
I can hear you already. A 13-year career, and this guy is supposed to be the GOAT? What color of paint are you huffing, Clayton?
No, still, let me hear him out.
Green, obviously. But hear me out.
That's
Bird's career lasted about 2/3 as long as it should have. But what he did in that time was so impressive and so substantial that every basketball fan acknowledges that he's in the conversation as the greatest ever. Doesn't it matter that those 13 years saved professional basketball, delivered a disproportionate amount of memorable moments, defined the golden age of the league, and produced a career by which all other forwards, before or since, are measured? Bird squeezed every drop of talent out in those 13 years and made it seem more like 30.
Shit, he ain't lying, bruh. Larry Bird, the reason why we got Bron, KD, all these other players today, I ain't gonna lie. I know they was definitely studying a little bit of that Larry Potter. They was definitely doing that. And they just trying to get the playmaking like him. You know what I'm saying? The offense, like the fundamentals. Bro, they trying to get the fundamentals like Bird, yo. Bird was that guy. I ain't gonna lie. He was that guy. I ain't gonna front, bro. He was doing the shit before everybody else was doing it, bro. And you gotta think, Larry Potter, right? He done made the league what it was, and then Michael Jordan just evolved it. You know what I'm saying? But, like, look, Michael Jordan wouldn't be able to evolve it without Larry Bird. You get what I'm saying? Without Larry Bird and Magic, he wouldn't be able to evolve it and make it as popping and global as it is today.
He didn't just
So you got to appreciate these guys. No cap.
leave his fingerprints on the game. He left so much of his DNA in the sport that it needed a cigarette afterwards. There's something to be said about the candle that lasts half as long but burns twice as bright. Those 3 MVP years stack up with any other run by any other player. I will put an A+ Larry Bird season up against anyone's. What does an A+ Larry Bird season look like? A full box score, a blowout win, a nearly undefeated record at home, and a play style that could only be described one way: white. Larry Bird isn't just a white basketball player, he's the white basketball player. To describe Larry Bird's game is to thumb through the Hoops dictionary and pick out every cliche about white players. Unathletic, great shooter, good fundamentals, the whole thing.
Right.
The archetype of a white basketball player is Larry Bird, with one exception. He had an unparalleled understanding of the game of basketball, both as a physical contest and as a mental competition. His basketball IQ infected everything he did and catapulted his career into legend. Bird was a complete player. Jerry West called him nearly as perfect as you can get. He was the league's first great marksman. He could contort his body to shoot from anywhere on the court, regardless of the level of defense. He pioneered the art of the dagger 3 and was the founding member of the 50-40-90 club.
Yeah, he was. He founder of the 50-40-90 club. I did forget that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I did forget, bro. Really did do that. So what he's basically saying is like, if his fundamentals are solid and he had an unorthodox way of playing, right? He must have just been outsmarting everybody on the court. If that must have been like, I ain't gonna lie, he definitely was outsmarting niggas then, from what I'm hearing, bruh. He wasn't doing no crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? But he would outsmart everybody on the court, whether it's passing, whether it's scoring. That's what I'm hearing. I ain't gonna lie.
At 6'9", Bird's understanding of angles and coordination led to a higher rebounding average than Patrick Ewing, and made him an impressively adept finisher in his younger years.
Oh, higher than Patrick Ewing? Now, I ain't gonna lie, that just stumbled me. A forward getting more boards than Patrick Ewing? Man, one of the greatest centers there is? Man, really?
86, Bird
Come
dropped 47
on.
points on the Blazers, playing the majority of the game left-handed.
47.
His lack of quick lateral movement meant that Bird didn't do much when it came to slapping the floor and picking up the opposing point guard, but
I
his
thought it was
size
27.
and omniscience gave him the ability to body similarly sized players, read defenses like a free safety, and pick off passing lanes with ease. His passing was transcendent, and I'll highlight it later. And of course you need to know that Larry Bird was a tough MFer.
Nah, he
He had a
was.
superhuman motor and dove for loose balls like a beagle at the park. He was a willing participant in his
Hey, bruh. Yo, what in the hell, bruh? Nah, hold on, cuz. Larry Potter, bruh. You out here choking boys, bruh. Who is this, bruh? Who you choking out, Larry Potter? Damn, y'all brawling? Nah, this dude had that tough spirit in him, yo. It was blood for blood with Larry Bird. Boy, hey, what in the hell, bruh? Shit, I can see why y'all say he the GOAT. Man had this toughness. Shit.
share of fights, often precipitated by his league-renowned trash talk.
Larry told Robert Reedy the other day that he should have stayed in preaching. That was funny. He had 50 points.
I was guarding in my rookie year. He looked at me and he goes, "You can't stop me." And I looked at him and I said, "Gosh, boy, you're so confident." He proceeded to score like 10 straight points on me. The coach took me out the game. He walks by and he's laughing at me.
He was a basketball genius. He'd be a
Shit.
step ahead, a thought ahead, play the game like a chess game.
I'd much rather guard Michael Jordan than Larry Bird because you have to play the game as a thinker when you're playing him. You have to get inside his mind.
Damn. You match rather guard Larry Bird than Michael. Wait, nah, I ain't know he was outsmarting niggas like that. And that's James Worthy, bruh. James Worthy was tough. He was playing with Magic and them boys on the Lakers. Shoot. He'd rather play Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. I ain't gonna lie, that is crazy. That's crazy to hear. I would have never thought to hear that in a million years. Was he really that good? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I might have to pour more respect on Larry Legend name.
In a room, you know, Magic, Jordan, myself, and Bird. Bird probably be the guy who walks out of the room at the end of the day.
Word?
Did you notice something during those testimonies? Those are some of the best basketball players of all time. And they all sing
Yeah.
Bird's praises like they were former assassins who had to go toe-to-toe with John Wick and they're just happy to be alive. Bird excelled during one of the most talent-rich periods in league history. The abridged list of his basketball rivals goes like this. Dr. J and Moses Malone on the Philadelphia 76ers, Sidney Moncrief on the Milwaukee Bucks, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer and the Bad Boy Pistons, Dominique Wilkins on the Atlanta Hawks, Bernard King on the New York Knicks,
I remember him.
Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls, Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson on the Houston Rockets, and of course, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Los Angeles Lakers.
No, that is a lot of comp. I ain't gonna lie. That is definitely a lot of comp. Larry Bird, you know what I'm saying? Well, he did have a crazy ass good team, but that is a lot of comp. But I ain't gonna lie though, that Dominique Wilkins and I don't know, MJ, I mean, and they were good, but like, nah, Larry was stomping on them folks. I ain't got their team was just way better than them two teams, at least as far as I know. But regardless though, they're still good teams.
All right, there's no point avoiding it any longer. We have to look at Magic versus Larry. If you have Magic over Larry, it's because he has 5 rings to Larry's 3, had a peak that lasted about 2 or 3 years longer than Larry's, and had a 2-1 record against Bird's Celtics in the finals. Perfectly legitimate, completely respectable arguments. But in the interest of making Bird's case, allow me to retort. For nearly the entire decade of the 1980s, the Eastern Conference was irrefutably the more competitive conference between the two. Considering the competition, for Bird to have made 5 finals appearances is just as impressive as Magic's 9. As for the head-to-head record responsible for Magic's 2 extra titles, he had more help. Seriously, the Celtics' Big 3 and the Lakers' Big 3 get compared all the time historically as if they were of equal caliber, but weren't Magic's accomplices just a step above Bird's? No disrespect at all to Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, but
Yeah.
Kareem was the alpha dog on the 71 Bucks and was the best player for at least 2 of the Lakers' 5 titles.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Kareem was doing that shit though. He not lying about that, bruh. Kareem was, you know what I'm saying? He was scoring them buckets. No bullshit, bruh. Magic and Kareem needed each other crazy, bruh. If Larry Bird had a Kareem, nah, I ain't gonna lie. That shit would be raps. That shit would be raps if that nigga had a Kareem, bruh. But Magic, and the thing is about Magic though, he would play for the team, and then when he actually needed to score, he was like a pass first player. So I mean, shit, he could just always dish it out to Kareem, and then like, look, it will take the pressure off Magic. So if Magic needed to score, he could score, and then he could get other guys involved. You feel me? I feel like if anything, bro, if I'm the Celtics, my game plan is probably to stop Kareem first out of anybody. If that's me, I'm gonna be honest. That would be my game plan.
James
But
Worthy
hey,
was the #1 pick out of UNC after winning a championship as the best player on a team that had Michael Jordan on it. Throw in the fact that Magic got to be coached by Pat Riley, one of the most brilliant minds in basketball history, and you could say that the Magic Bird argument comes down to one thing: luck. So if their careers come down to luck, the question just becomes who you would rather take. Now, I'm not making this video to tell you why you shouldn't take Magic. I'm making this video to tell you why you should take Bird. Not just over Magic, but over everybody. One thing that helps him is the fact that his play would translate perfectly into the league today. A 6'9" sharpshooting forward with eyes in the back of his head who averaged double-digit rebounds in an era against Moses and Lambeer.
Yeah, that is crazy. Double-digit rebounds too? I'm thinking maybe 8, 9 double-digit is crazy. And think about it like today, right? If you were to play today, the game has so much more spacing now, right? All these teams are shooting threes. Imagine Larry Bird today with all the spacing, bro. Like all the spacing he's able to work with, everybody being able to shoot threes. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this guy would be a demon, no bullshit, bro. He'll be pulling threes, bro. Shit, he'd be dang near like the Steph Curry of the day. Boy, he'll be shit. One hezzy, pull up, green, shit, a three. You know what I'm saying?
Gobble up boards as a power forward. He'd be an offensive mismatch against everybody as a small ball center, and his off-ball skills and passing would pair perfectly with the flow of today's game. Add in his competitive mania and 3 generations worth of medical advancements, and we're talking about a player who could have stuck around so long they would have had to rename the league. As you've been watching these clips of Bird, I would hope that you would notice something. He always knows where everybody is. Watching Bird play basketball is like watching those monsters from A Quiet Place that know where you are if you make any noise at all.
Right.
Bird had a level of clairvoyance that bordered on the unnatural. In '85, he ended up 1 steal away from a quadruple-double after playing just the first 3 quarters.
Really? He almost got a quadruple-double? Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Now that's quad-double? So you basically telling me he dropped above 10 points, above 10 rebounds, above 10 assists, and almost got, damn, yo. Nah, he tough. He tough. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Shit, man, Larry Legend, you know what I'm saying? This is actually impressing me, bro, a lot. I ain't gonna lie.
His passing was famously infectious and helped transform the Celtics of the 80s into an ideal that basketball teams at all levels are still shown tape of. They moved the ball with precision and intent, always looking for better shots and determined to get the entire team involved in the effort. That fact is almost entirely attributable to Bird and his wizardry with the ball. This acumen also helped Bird become the only player with a GOAT claim to transition successfully into other basketball roles after his playing career. In his 3 years as the head coach of the Pacers, Bird won a Coach of the Year award, coached the Pacers to their first and only finals appearance, and gave Michael Jordan as much trouble as he'd ever gotten in his career in the '98 Eastern Conference.
So, what you telling me, bro, is this guy's a GOAT on the court and off the court? That's what you telling me? And I remember in the comments, bro, I forgot, I can't believe I even forgot this. Y'all was saying Larry Legend was playing on a broken back majority of his career. His back was cooked and he was still hooping crazy. Is that true, yo? If this guy was playing on a broken back for majority of his career and he was hooping, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Nah, this guy too tough, bro. This might be the greatest white basketball player I've ever heard of, bro. If this guy was playing on a broken back, 13 seasons, 3 chips, and he doing all this, and off the court he going crazy, bro. Nah, I gotta give this guy his credit, bro. Nah.
After moving into a front office role for Indiana, he won Executive of the Year in 2012, becoming the only person to have an MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year award. On the court or off of it, inside and out, Larry Bird sees basketball as only he can. That intelligence also lent itself to Bird's defining skill, making the big plays. Remember, NBA
we
players
know that.
get paid to win games. James Harden is getting paid nearly $40 million this year because he's supposed to help the Rockets win games.
Yeah, but we know Harden, bruh. Let's be real, bruh. This guy's a choker, bruh. He might be like the worst, he might be one of the worst superstars there is. He's actually a choker, bruh. I'm not gonna lie, bruh. He's a good ISO player. He can score, nigga, in the regular season. But come playoff time, bro, oh my God. This is a Larry Bird video. I'm not even gonna go on about Harden.
Victory can be achieved in a lot of ways, and the win column doesn't care how it happens. As Mark Sinclair once said,
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Word.
but when your team is down 1 in a crucial playoff game with 8 seconds left, and you need to hit a shot to stay in the series and keep your season alive, that's where players really separate themselves and earn their money. Love it or hate it, it's the players that come through in the big moments that live forever in our memories. Some players, for whatever reason, were never able to do it consistently. Some players were truly outstanding at it. Larry Bird was the best at it.
Shoot. Yo, I low-key believe it when y'all told me Larry Legend was better than Michael Jordan at being clutch. I believed it. That mixtape told me all I needed to see. Bro was hitting game winners. Bro was hitting leaning three-pointers. Bro, a person threw the ball across the court. He caught it and just hit the three. Yo, Larry Bird was like that when it came to clutch. Yo, if you talking about Mr. Fourth Quarter, bro, nah, this guy, Mr. Fourth Quarter, yo, he tough, bro. I can't hate. I cannot hate, bro. Shit.
I'm not going to give you the stats about his field goal shooting under 2 minutes with a score that's this close, or tell you who has the most buzzer beaters or any of that.
Take that for data.
I'm just going to show you clutch moments in clutch situations. 1985 against the Blazers.
Yeah, I remember this.
48 points, including this. Down 1 with 2 seconds left.
48 points, though? That's the boy Larry, bro.
1985 against the Hawks. Bird sets the Celtics scoring record with 60 points with shots like these.
They open the right side. Bird the fall away. He drills it again.
Yo.
The best shooting I've ever seen.
1986 against the Rockets. Not all of Bird's clutch moments were singular. The bigger the moment, the bigger his performance. In Game 6 of the 1986 NBA Finals, Bird clinches the championship with a triple-double in what he calls the best game he ever played.
Word? Big three. And yo, what I would hear too, in the comments, a lot of y'all was commenting that Larry Bird reaction. I swear I was reading a lot of them. Yo, this guy would literally tell opponents what he was gonna do before he even took the shot, and they couldn't even guard it, bro. They couldn't guard it, but he would literally tell people what to do, and they couldn't guard it, and he still somehow just hit the shot, bro. How do you tell the defense what you're gonna do ahead of time? You literally do it right in front of their face, and they still can't guard it. Bro, was this guy unstoppable or something, bro? This guy has some magic to his hands, bro. He has something, bro. He was casting spells on the court, bro. I don't know what the hell Larry Potter was doing, but hey, bro, this is my nickname for Cud. No bull.
1987 against the Washington Bullets. Bird hits one shot to tie it before it's waved off because of a timeout. Hits another shot to tie it up for real.
I remember this. It hits it in the same spot.
And then in double overtime,
I remember
down
that.
1, he does this.
It's going to go to Bird. He's got a shot. Get it. And it's got it. The three-point.
Bruh.
And that's that. It's all over.
For 3 years, from 1986 to 1988, the three-point contest knew no other champion but Larry Bird.
He's still got to drop one here quickly. 14. This is a tie for the money. Yo!
Bro was hitting them threes, though.
1987 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5. Tied at 2 games apiece against the bad boy Pistons, this enormous game would put the winner 1 game away from the NBA Finals. The Pistons are up 1 with seconds remaining. The ball goes out of bounds off the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas just needs to inbound the ball to win the game.
Oh, he stole it? Woo! Shit!
There are truly too many big games and big moments for me to go through without this ending up as a documentary. But that all leads me to this, what I really want to talk about. 1987, NBA Finals, Game 4 against the Lakers.
Okay.
LA is up 2-1, and the Celtics need to win to tie the series and stay alive. Bird hits a 3 with 12 seconds left to go up by 2.
Yep, green bean. Okay.
Kareem comes down and gets fouled with 8 seconds left. He makes the first,
Does he make the second?
but misses the second.
Oh.
LA ends up with the ball with 7 seconds left, down 1 point.
In the low post, being guarded by Dennis Johnson.
Byron Scott is in the ball game now.
Magic hits this, the baby skyhook.
Magic with a hook shot. Scores with
That boy done stole Kareem move. He stole Kareem move right there. Bro, so I'm gonna hit y'all with the Kareem move. Hook. That sky hook was dang near unstoppable, bro. You could not block that shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit was like that, bro. Especially if he was long and lanky, like Kareem, or like even Magic with his long ass wingspan. Yeah, you couldn't stop that move. You couldn't stop it.
2 seconds left, down 1.
Dennis Johnson on the inbound.
He hit it? Green?
What do you think happens?
He hit that. Bruh,
But it wasn't
nah.
that. When I paused the tape and the ball was hanging in the air, you thought it was going in.
Oh God, I thought that was going in, bro. Oh God, I thought that shit was going in, bro. This guy edged me, bro. Why did you fool me, bro? Damn. Fooled my ass, bro. Did some buffoonery to my brain, man. Man, shit, I thought you hit that motherfucker, bro.
Bird thought it was going in. Magic thought it was going in. I've
Really?
seen this game before, and I still think it's going to go in. But it didn't. Pat Riley said it himself. We got lucky. And that, a missed shot in the NBA Finals, is why he's the clutchest. Because after he makes the big plays, has the big games, hits the big shots, time and time again, you expect him to hit every shot, to win every game. And in those fleeting moments when he doesn't, when he looks like a mere human, when he looks like everyone else who tries to do what he does, you just can't believe it. That's what Larry Bird did. He made the big plays so often, you thought he was going to make them every time.
Damn. I mean, I guess if in a way, that is low-key a good way to look at it, bruh. Like, he made the shot so often, or he made the right play, or hit that game-winning, game-tying shot so often to the point where it's like, every time he would do it, it wouldn't even surprise you, bro. It was just like, yeah, that's Larry Legend, bro. He's just like that. He's just cold. But when he misses some shit like that, it's just like, you take a step back, you're like, the fuck? Larry ain't hit that shit? How the hell he ain't hit that shit? He usually hit that shit. Why in the fuck did he not hit that shit? The fact that it's like that, and you have to think about shit like that for Larry Legend, bro. You always expect the guy to hit it. I ain't gonna lie. That makes his greatness like elite. I ain't gonna lie. That definitely puts him in the convo, bro. No bullshit.
He helped turn basketball into a global phenomenon, paving the way for every Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James who comes through our lives. He played basketball in its purest form and captained a team that is consistently ranked among the greatest of all time. He has the second highest win percentage in the history of the NBA, behind Magic by less than 0.5%, about 10 games.
Still?
He is the complete package, a player with no holes in his game whatsoever. They called him Basketball Jesus. He didn't get that name without doing something extraordinary. He saved basketball. And he did it by playing it better than anyone else. Here's Magic at Bird's retirement in 1993.
Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird. the greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever.
Hey, bro, that had to have been sad, bro. Seeing that, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm already knowing, bro. If you was at that place, or you was watching this live on TV, I know you had to have been crying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just seeing two of your favorite players, or two of the best players in the league, and especially in the 80s, bro. You know what I'm saying? They retiring. And not even just Magic retiring. He ain't retired yet in this clip. But Larry, man, that I ain't gonna lie. That's a rivalry that done ended, bruh. That's like the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers of our time. You just seeing that rivalry just completely end. Damn, that's sad. I ain't gonna lie. That's a little sad.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. This was a really fun video.
Oh, that was it? Oh, shoot. All right. But hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Although I don't think Larry Bird is the GOAT, I do think he's probably the greatest white player I've heard play the game of basketball. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I haven't seen enough, like, obviously him play in real time. I gotta watch some real games on my real time. But this video actually impressed me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I have a lot of respect for bro, no matter what the case, bro. I don't have him as the GOAT, but if y'all have Larry Bird as y'all GOAT, I could actually truly respect it. I could truly respect it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Larry Legend is like that. But hey, hopefully y'all enjoyed my reaction to this video, bro. Hey, we gonna react to Larry Bird passing highlights next. We're gonna react to his passing, because the passing I done seen from last video, no, I ain't gonna lie. He might be, boy, he is like that at passing. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna definitely react to that next. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy. And yeah, I'm out of here, y'all.